so that we can get that for everyone who wants to join later. Thank you for checking in with me and letting me know how you have been. Um, it's good to hear from everyone again. I'll say that. Greetings to those who are watching this on Patreon or re- recording wherever you are watching this from. Greetings to you. Um, all right, got all that out the way. It's cold where I am, so I'm a little shivering. I don't know where you are, what the weather is like. Um, but I want to liven up a little bit. Um, of course, we see how the world is going. And as healers, we have a double scoop. Um, we have to work on our own journey. Plus, in this time, we are activated to help others. And so, really quickly, I just want to go around and ask everyone um, how they're doing, how are they helping others, um, or are they not at that point where they're helping others? They're only focusing on their own spiritual journey. I want to see where everyone is, or what are the others that they're working on. Maybe it's family, maybe it's in the community, maybe like who is the population that they serve? Because right now we should be serving someone other than ourselves in our journey. That's part of this year's mandate. You got to help out. You got to help out. And we've been healing ourselves. Yes, we need more healing. Yes, there's more we need to learn, uh, for sure, all of us. Um, and we should be in that constant pursuit. But in the small that we know, there's thousands that don't know that. And so we should be helping educate, raise the consciousness, awareness, and just being a part, being a good human, affecting others' lives where we are. And so I want to go around the room right now and ask everyone, um, uh, how they're doing on their journey. One, and like who is the population that you're serving? Have you found that population? Who are you assisting in this time? The floor is open.
I'll go. I'll go. So the how I'm doing or that part with the community wise, I feel like I feel very angry right now, and that's what I was just telling Maria. I feel like my emotions have been. I was listening to an old Tupac song. I can't even remember what song it was, but I just start crying in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, this world is so bad. Like, why are they doing this to my people? And so I feel like I'm just super angry, and so it has been playing out just in my emotions, but also like I feel like if I'm it's just making me want to speak up much more, even about random things. Like I ain't never used my voice so much. I'm just speaking up about everything right now. And so it's just a very different season for me because I'm not that type of person at all. But at this point, I feel like I just have to say something. And so I'm doing a lot in the community. Just because it's just so much going on, especially with the food stuff. There's just a lot of, especially in the community I work and live in. There's just a lot of people with no food. Just it's really bad out here. Just really struggling, getting evicted. It's a tough season out here. A lot of people live in families, living in their cars, newborn babies just living in cars. It's just a rough season, and so. I feel like I'm doing a lot of community work, but also I feel like there's just something missing. I just feel like people just don't have any hope and they're just really, really down and just, which makes sense. But I just feel like there's something missing that people need. And so just trying to figure out what that is. Because a lot of people, they just feel really broken, no purpose, just a lot of pain right now. So just really trying to figure out like how can we help people, even in the midst of what's going on, like at least have a little hope, or a purpose even for themselves. So that's how everything's been going for me. Laughing.
I like to hear from the frontline leaders like that because it helps you really keep a pulse on the people, and it's beautiful um, to know that the transition is happening, and you're in a very special place where you get to remold and help shift people's consciousness, you know. And when you talk about hope, hope is something. Hope for what, in what system? And so you have to understand that we are ushering in a new age, and so you can't give them hope into something that is old in the past. And so you have to give them, um, highlight rather, the beauty of what they have that adds value to the new age and new era that we're in, and build on that. um and it's going to look a lot different for a lot of people, um but this new age, being in harmony with nature, being at one with the planet, they're right where they're supposed to be, and that's unfortunate because for them they don't see that. But there's so many beautiful stories also that are coming out of people who are in the same position in their cars or in transition or just lost their job. It's like, if you have the old paradigm, it's a terrible place to be, right? It's very fragmented, scary. But if you're subscribing to the new paradigm, the canvas is wide open, so it's really, someone in a position like yourself. You really, are dealing with the fragility of the psyche and helping them, hold on. The hope is, more towards the, uh, new paradigm and the earth that we want, and not reminiscing off of what they lost or the standards of the old, right? Because having your own place, having an apartment, having a home, all of that is like, living alone. All of that is old paradigm. Whereas living communally, living in harmony with nature, some of the people would say tragedies that they have to go through. Now, when you think about being in harmony with nature, it's really not that bad. You're really and I don't wish this for everyone. And I'm not saying that any of us, this is our destiny, but for those who are, you have to always see like, the brighter side, and you have to always know this is a part of the plan as well. And there's a way to come out of it. Uh, and like, all I keep hearing is like the lesson on, a lesson on detachment, the lesson on, being in harmony with nature, the lessons on, um, um, and I don't know if you guys have had all these had all these lessons. Detachment is like a whole series that you go through. I remember being in initiation, and we spent like 6 months on detachment. just detaching, and just every month it was like, okay, what are you detaching from? And I got to the point I was just like, what else is there? But every gotta let go of everything. What else is there? But every month it was, I would go just a little deeper, and there was always something I could let go of. Some of it was material, some of it was part of my personality and my consciousness. Um, and what am I attached to? Because it's some of those attachments is what causes some of the pain. Yeah, and attachment and expectation. Expectation is big. You expect things to be a certain way. Expectation is huge. Yeah, it's like you expected life. You expected the government. You expected this. You had these expectations. And when they don't pan out that way, it causes a cognitive dissonance. It causes a disconnect where if you're not able to work through that, it can really affect your mental health, you know? And so the position that you're in right now, Tanaja, is valuable in helping on the front line, the psyche of those families. Hats off to you. Okay, who's next? What communities are you working with? Who is your demographic?
I go. Um, I have to be more intentional about meeting people in person um, because I work from home. And so I don't I really don't have to go anywhere to get done anything that I need to get done. And so even before the pandemic, because before that I was having to like work in person. Then they realized that, hey, we don't need y'all to keep coming in while we paying for this office space, and gave everybody a laptop and told us stay home. And so since then, before that, I always have been a homebody type of person. I get off work Friday and I will be inside until Monday morning to go back to work. So me being in the house and I haven't been anywhere or met anybody new, that's what I do. And I need to come out of it because I can see how I am insulated in a lot of ways. So there are things that I know that are going on, or disparities that people are facing from social media. If it weren't for social media, because I don't really watch TV like that, I would not know anything. I wouldn't even known about Jamaica with the Hurricane Melissa. Um, And so I feel like this conversation is just poking me in the eye again. Like, Lenitra, you have to get out and start meeting people in person. Because it's so easy for me to just stay home. And I'm very content with it. I like being home. I'm very comfortable. I love it. And don't have to be going nowhere. Like you see this me wearing earrings and stuff. I don't have to be going nowhere to decide I'm gonna put on some earrings, and put on some clothes. What bra am I wearing today? Which perfume do I want to put on? I do all that and be right here, going nowhere. So I need to do better. Yes, so that I can figure out who my demographic would be and the ways in which I can serve. I feel.
I appreciate your transparency and saying, you know what, let this be my charge, because this is new. I haven't seen you guys in a couple of weeks, so this is new. to say, I think since I gave the reading, I haven't really seen you guys. And so this is new to say, okay, wow, okay, now Miana's going to hold us accountable. So we got to report in how I'm aligning with this divination. Yeah, because I'm holding myself accountable and I'm going to hold you guys accountable. And you have brilliant gifts. You're so intelligent. You're so gifted, Miss Wooten. That is is what's the word? Not a shame. It's selfish to hold back all that you have when people need it. But I also know how difficult it is to get out there because I'm number one for comfort. I love everything in Africa. You understand me? My house, the way it's set up, the conveniences, it just everything I have is completely my even here at the temple is I'm I'm comfortable. And so uh, you have to be pushed to get out of your comfort zone. And um, now is the time. And I would just, you know, going back to the divination, I would just take the opportunity uh, to be proactive about it before it's something that they kind of, you know, shake life up about or, you know. Um, and you have so many beautiful gifts. Um, so that leads me to ask about like physical activity. How are you getting out the house? Well, are you going out to exercise? What is how is how is where are you getting your physical activity?
I don't have a car, so I
Okay.
walk to whatever, like wherever I need to go.
Hmm.
Um,
That's good.
and the city that I live in, Jacksonville, uh, I I I'm not from here, so I
Hmm.
don't know where anything is. And when I
Hmm.
decided to move here, I made sure to move in an area where everything I need I can walk to. And so if I need to get groceries, I can walk to Aldi, I can walk to Walmart, I can walk to Winn-Dixie. Uh, I live right by a Ross, I live right by a BJ's, I live right by an Ulta. Uh, the the only place that's close to me but it's too far to walk is the airport, and the airport is only 8 miles from me. Um, I live within walking distance of a whole bunch of lot of much. And I did that because I wanted to make sure that I did not put myself in a position where I needed a car to get around.
Hmm.
Because I don't want to pay for a car, especially since I work from home. And what am I
Right.
paying for this for?
Hmm.
And all this insurance. And so that's how I get out. That's how usually I'm going somewhere. I need to go get something. And so let me walk to Walgreens. And that's what I do.
Is there a community center around you?
It might be. And I just don't know because I only really go outside when I have somewhere to go. If I don't
Hmm.
have anywhere to go, um, or if I'm taking an Uber or Lyft somewhere, I'm probably
Hmm.
going to the doctor, or maybe I'm going to get my hair. Like I'm going somewhere where that's too far. I'm not walking there. Um,
Okay.
but other than that, everything is within like a 5 mile radius of me. And
Okay.
so whenever people ask me, how is Jacksonville? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I know where I
Okay.
live and I like it and,
Hmm.
and it's comfortable for me, but I don't go anywhere. Um,
And how's your family? Meaning, are you being more of a support? Is there a area where you can be more of a support as a big cousin, as an auntie, as a second mother? Is there a
mhm,
way on the family we could start there? And
mhm,
if not on the family end, um, where do you see yourself starting in the community that you're in physically, or do you see yourself starting online? Like, how do you think it's best for the way your life is set up to start?
mhm. Well, as far as with my family, I'm in communication with them every day. Uh, and so most of my contact, most of my contact is virtual. So I have you all on WhatsApp and I see you on Zoom. Same thing with my friends, same thing with my family. So I don't feel lonely. I know that I'm alone, but it never really feels like it because I'm always talking to or communicating with somebody. They just always happen to be somewhere else. As far as me meeting people here and like having places to go to where I can say that, oh, I like this little cafe. What cafe? I know it's a Starbucks that I could walk to that's not far from here at all. I don't go there, but I know it's there. And so what I would like to do is to meet uh I like to meet people in person and try to do more things in person. Only because I see the trajectory that I am on. I haven't always had the option to just deal with everybody virtually. Um, but now that I do, I'm like, oh, Anitra, you might be too good at this. Like, you still need to be able to interact with people in person. Um, and so I've been really thinking and considering for a long time. I've heard people tell me that they feel like, oh yeah, you should do a podcast. I'm like, about what? Who would nobody want to listen to me talk? Uh, so I don't know. I always hesitate. But as far as like my nieces and nephews, and being there for them, my my siblings, like my younger brothers and my sister, all of those things, I just do it all virtually.
Mhm.
I'm very rarely in contact with other people where we are breathing the same air. That doesn't happen a lot for me.
Okay.
And I'm a
Okay.
little concerned about the fact that I don't really miss it. Cause I feel like I should. Like that's because I love people. I really
Right.
do. But like Lanisha, girl, you go months and not unless I'm, out walking to the grocery store or something. That's the time when I'm around people the most.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
and if you're getting everything you need virtually, I'm not pushing in that area. I think you're still um, healthy. I think you still get out and you still have a healthy balance. You didn't say you were Instacarting groceries in or anything like that. You're still going out to get your groceries.
Mhm.
So I don't, as far as you personally, I think that you're still in a good, healthy balance. Where I think that we need we need to maybe shift our attention is like, okay, you're in a healthy balance, but how are we like pouring into others, or how are we affecting those around us? And if you feel more comfortable online, or you want to push yourself to meet people in person, um, that's fine. I think the podcast would be great. Honestly, try it. There's
Talk about me.
I think I think the podcast would be great. I do podcasts. I
No,
think the
me too. I
podcast would
listen
be
to it. I love your podcast. I love
I think the
podcasts.
podcast would be great because I know what comes with that, and I know that
Okay.
I know you have what it takes. And that is a
Okay.
way to get your knowledge and your intellect and your healing out. Because, like I said, you, what you know, there's thousands out there that don't know that, you know, they, and because of your unique experiences, your unique perspective, your life, and the way that you see the world, there is a demographic of people that only you can reach. So why not a podcast? I think it's great. And that would help to move you in the area of like how you're affecting change and affecting others. I think it's great. I'm not going to hold you to it, but next time I'm on here, I'm definitely going to ask for the link of where I can listen. I'm just saying. Okay.
I'm gonna write it down.
Okay. I know it's once you write things down, it still takes like months to happen, but at least we're getting it written. You know, I'm poking fun at you. I'm poking fun at you. No, that's an insider, but um she got it written down, which is good. And she's gonna do it. She's gonna think about doing it if it's the right thing to do. So we like that because at least her mind is in that way. Okay, who's next? Who's next? What demographic are you helping to heal? Who is your demographic? Who are you helping?
I go. I would say I'm helping women right now. Yeah,
Mhm.
women in like their 30s, 20s. Um, in this season, I'm getting myself together now. I've been serving all year. Like I have a book club and been able to create good conversations and just useful progress. But now I need to finally get myself situated so I can really go all in. Um, so I'm kind of reserving myself for the rest of this year and then going back out there. But I would say my demographics is women. I kind of want to help the men. Well, I do. Um, but Spirit said not right now. So we're focusing on the women and laying roots with birthing women and just women in general and see who I attract. Oh, I feel.
Um, Now you're the people who are affected by you will naturally gravitate to you. Um, and so, what I hear is some of the feedback that you're getting is from women. You're getting feedback from birthing women. These are these are women, like uterus bearing women, um, which is good. What are some of the topics in which women gravitate or ask questions to you about? In what areas do you see you are they come to you for a resource or see you as a resource?
I would say womb healing, fertility questions,
Mhm,
um, questions about like yoni steams. Can we do that? What does that look like? And
mhm,
then mindset shifting. So like I have a client that we're working on her relationship with money. So how can we shift our mindset with that? Um, and then most of the conversations just been about not overthinking and trusting ourselves and just processing life, most just having space to speak and process different topics.
mhm. Good, good, good. And when you say you need to get yourself together, is this more um, meaning to to tackle some of the carnal stuff like um bills and some of the life things, or do you mean um it's more like it's pulling on your social battery, or it's draining your energy and you need to recharge yourself spiritually?
I would say the cardinal because it gives me life. Like it that's what I'm like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Like I receive energy, I light up, and it's like the grind doesn't feel so heavy anymore. It's more of, let me get my physical stuff together. Let me master this trading so I could feel
Mhm.
okay, like okay, I'm in a state of overflow so I can give out more. So yeah, it's more the physical.
Mhm. Yeah. And this is where community and partnership is so, it comes in so it comes in handy, or having the right, being a part of the right community and being a part of the right partnership. um yeah. are you are you are you single? Are you in a relationship?
Single as a Pringle.
Okay. Yeah, so you gotta get you a partner, or
Yeah.
get you a part of community where it's a shared responsibility, that cardinal stuff. And then that way, um you can spend most of your energy doing the things that you love, doing the things that feed your soul. And then some of this carnal stuff, it'll be taken care of with the community, right? Because you lose, it's like I was talking about a little bit with Tanaja, you lose focus on, um or you lose the attachment to, I gotta have my own apartment, I gotta have my own house. You lose that attachment when you start to gravitate and grasp towards things that feed your soul. So you may start building an attachment towards your online community. I want to groom that. I want to be more present. But in order to do that, I had to make sure I got a roof and I got Wi-Fi and I got, some of these real things that are out there. And so how do I deal with both? And it's like, okay, at some point when you have that conversation of attachment, why am I attached to this? Why is this attached to my identity? And it's a part of decolonization. What do I really need all of this? Like Wooten, do I really need a car? If I'm in a place where I have do I really need a car? Do I really need this, that, and the other? And what do I need? Right. And then we build a life around what do I need, and how protecting um, the time and energy that you have to put into your yourself and your spiritual practice, the time that you have remaining, where can I put that time? Right. Trading is good because trading is one of those things where you only need about 2 hours. Okay. And that's not a lot of time. You still have the bulk of your time to put toward your spiritual practice, but there's also a learning curve with trading, right? And you have to be in that diligent, um, before you become profitable, to a point where it starts to make gains, where you can start to take care of some of this physical stuff. But trading is one thing. Um, there's other things you can do. Um, this is why I'm just an advocate for communal living. Because if we're all living together, then okay, I'm responsible for washing the clothes. I wash clothes on Thursday. So I get to do all that I'm going to do. I get to live, eat, Wi-Fi, electricity, housing. I get all this, and all I do is wash clothes on Thursday. Boom. Okay. Someone else, I cook dinner. You got one person washing clothes, you got another person cooking dinner, you got another person doing transportation to and from. And that's their job, but everybody gets their basic needs covered, you know. Um, and so you're only spending a certain short amount of time of your day on these basic needs, but it benefits the whole. And so um, either, but I know you just moved into a place, right? So how does that how are you feeling about that choice? Like, are you thinking about getting a roommate? No,
I like it. I like my space. I needed this. I needed the environment. Yeah.
okay, okay, all right. So how do we maintain it? How do we sustain it?
Mm.
Um, OF? No, I'm playing. I'm playing. What are we doing? I heard someone sent me, they said you could just show your feet and it's fine. You could still make really good money showing your feet. They was like, Mianu, you're missing out. You have great feet. Just show your feet. No one will even notice your toes. So I don't know. You guys are gonna be looking for my feet on OF. I'm not on OF. It's not that bad. No, I'm being funny. You guys know I told you early when we started that I have a personality, a sense of humor. So please don't be offended. I'm just I know, just don't mix the links. Because sometimes life gets like that. It gets so real where you have to like you gotta laugh. You gotta find a way to laugh to keep from crying because it's like real situations that we're dealing with, you know? And someone like me who can't get angry, I just sarcasm is like so cool. Like I just love to laugh and just yeah, because anger is not an option. Um, so but seriously, what do you now that you have that feeling, that confirmation, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, and you have to protect that, right? And to turn away from that is almost like going downhill, right? We got to somehow keep that fire lit. Uh, what are you thinking? Is it training only? Like, what's your short term and long term?
My short term, well, my long term is trading. My short term is securing some doula clients for
Mhm,
2026.
mhm.
That'll give me immediate and some actually just promoting more of my services, getting some more clients. It's there. It's just it's me. Or me figuring out what does marketing look like for me? What does self promotion look like for me? What does bringing awareness to me look like? And being confident in it.
Yeah, and don't feel guilty. Do it. Talk about you. I'll boast you up. You better do it. All right. Because it's no one else's job.
No,
There's no one else's job to do it. So you gotta talk about you. You gotta celebrate you. And but there's that talk, oh, she's, you know, oh, you big headed. Oh, you what's the word? You got a big ego, you got this, you got no talk for yourself. Don't you that's some of the negative self-talk that we gotta get through. We, you know, Gold digger is another one. Nope, every woman is expensive. Pick one in your price range. Like it's not every woman costs. There's nope. I'm not a gold digger. Nope, because I have needs. I'm not going 50-50. No, you know why? Because I gotta I got an online presence that I gotta maintain. I'm not looking for that. Right? Like you see the benefit now. Like if you
Mm.
were to go back into the dating scene, it's like I'm not doing this so we can, I'm doing it. How are you helping me preserve the lifestyle that I want for myself? Yeah. And if not, then let me sit over here and figure it out by myself because I've been celibate for a while. I don't need, what you got going on over there. Actually, my spiritual power delinquishes. I gotta build it back up once I give you my yoni. I know. I can get things happen when I speak. Right? And so it's like I'm not motivated by that. So yeah, you gotta now that your mind is starting to shift and you're starting to see through a different lens as you re-enter the world. Um, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish on certain things when you demand, from a partner, so to speak, like this is what I'm looking for. Be guarded. Maybe guarded is more of a word, have certain boundaries that maybe you didn't have before or expectations because you're on destiny. You know what it feels like to be on destiny. And so that has to be protected. Um, and so yeah. And what do? I have to push past my comfort zone. It feels uncomfortable to market myself, but I will. It feels uncomfortable to do this, but I will. I tell you, the hardest thing I've had to do the last couple months is put on makeup every couple of days. So the hardest thing for me. It's been the hardest thing. I'm such a tomboy. If y'all really knew how much of a tomboy I was, I am such a tomboy. But it's not for me. So when you get to that point to where you're like, I gotta do this, I gotta do the offerings, and I don't care what no one says. It's this even my mind. I don't even care what my mind says because it's a lot of negative self-talk. And you can
Mhm.
push past that, you'll be okay. You have my blessing.
Thank you.
Be- yeah, because ancestors, and this is the thing, ancestors allow you to figure it out. They allow you to figure it out, but you have to be bold enough to go out there and try. Just go out there and try. If you make a mistake, you'll learn on the back end, but go try. Okay? Go try. All right, who's next? I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of each of you.
I go. I just have a question, Miana, because I know that you are and have been for a while a serial entrepreneur. Have you ever had uh to push yourself out of your comfort zone? Or has it just been like oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. And then you just took off with it? Or what? I feel.
So you guys want me to be transparent and the recording's going? Okay. All right. But Wooten, I expect this from you because me and you have a connection. We on a cellular level, there's deities we probably have alike, so I get it. You could pinpoint. Um, yeah, I'm in that phase right now, actually. I'm in that phase of life right now. But there's cycles. It's happened before. Um, but I'm in that phase right now. And everything I just said to Mackenzie, I was talking to her and me at the same time. I was talking to her and me. Um, I'm a businesswoman. I love to do the business. I love to do the numbers. I love to build a business. I'm a builder. I like to manifest. So whatever I see in my head, whatever we put on paper, I like to build it in the physical. I'm big on that. I'm big on that. That I'm a doer, right? I'm a doer. But right now, life is pushing me, and that's where I'm comfortable. I'm a doer. I create product. I create businesses. I create systems. Um, like I said, serial entrepreneur. Um, for the longest time, I was in hospitality. For like a decade, I was in hospitality. But prior to hospitality, when I was in corporate America, I was in real estate. And now that I'm getting out of hospitality, I'm getting back into real estate. And so um, but what does real estate look like now? You know, so that's on the business side. I'm being pushed into new arenas on that end. But on the spiritual side, like the spiritual practice, I'm being pushed. Um, I always wanted to just grow my Patreon community and have like a little coven of women, and we talk and we meet, and I groom you on your individual journeys, and get you ready for initiation, get you charged, connected to source, send you through initiation, and then watch you go on your path and support you, on your that was always the way I saw things. Do your spiritual work however you need support from a priest. That was how I saw myself um all these times. It's like, yeah, I would be online, but I wanted to be online for the purpose of like building a private community. And there's just so much happening right now. I'm being pushed to just be online. Um, to just You got to just give the information away because so many people need it. There's no way they can, there's just no way we could wait for them to be on Patreon. There's no way we can wait for them to come to Benin. Um, of course, there's a lot of information that you can only get once you're initiated or when you're in Benin, of course. But for everything else, it's like just give it to the people. Just give it to the people. Just talk about it. Just get out there. And so all of these videos that I'm doing, you guys haven't even seen all the videos. I've been in production for like a month or two. You guys haven't even seen all the videos that I've done, all the like I have a production schedule all the way through the beginning of the year. Um I I I told Mama Strong and Agbasi maybe a year or two ago, I knew this time was gonna come. I never wanted to do it. I always wanted them to do it. I'm like, y'all, let me support you. Let me, you guys do the meditation videos, you're going to be great at it. And I just want to support. I always wanted to be the behind the scenes support of them being the front person, the dream videos, meditation videos. You guys go out there. You guys are great at this. Let me see I'm always good at amplifying my partner. That's me. whether it's a wife or being a wife to someone. I'm gonna raise your kids to be great human beings. Excel our business to be great. Or as a teacher, and I'm, pushing my students to be great. But no one has ever pushed me to be great. And now I have to push myself. And uh it's not it's not that I want to do it. Like I was telling Wooten, I'm comfortable. Um, online and doing my one-on-one coaching. I'm comfortable trading. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable um, in my bubble, but there's something in me that literally has been crying um since the world is crashing. Like the world is crashing. I knew it was coming. I've always known it was coming. Um, and now that it's happening, the people that were around me when we would get these divinations from the temples, they're nowhere around. And I'm like, so it's on me to do, you know? Um, there's people who have like completely turned away from traditions. And it's like, we up like we up to bat and you didn't gave up the sport. What the hell? Like I don't even understand. Um, and so I, because I have such a love for African people, um, just and let me be specific. I have a love for African people, but it's like the African American experience, and African American women in particular. And I just don't think there's enough African American um, women who are helping in the holistic front, that are helping to guide the women that are guiding these families. And so my my job right now is just to like help educate, help educate. Um, and it's very uncomfortable for me. I don't want to do it because I know what I've always ran from that. Like what Mackenzie was saying, I ran from that. From oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so conceited. You're probably stuck up. You're this, you're that. And I've been such a tomboy. I've been kind of dim my light a lot. And now I gotta put makeup on, I gotta put nails on, I gotta lose weight, I had to do all these things. And I lost 20 pounds, by the way. Um, I'm gonna lose more, but I lost 20 so far. I don't know if you could tell in my face. I really been taking the divination seriously. Uh, they were trying to get some clear liquids for me the other day. They're like, "You're just eating seasoned water, Mianu." I was just like, "Well, yeah, that's what bouillon, that's what broth is. It's just seasoned water." Um, but yeah, no, it's everything is like so even right now I'm pushing myself. I don't feel when you guys see me in these videos and you're like, oh, she's clumsy, she's this. When I see myself, I feel like I look clumsy. When I listen to myself, I feel like I'm goofy. I feel like you don't have an organized plan. You don't have like I'm so hard on myself. Why did you do that? The lighting wasn't right. Your makeup wasn't right. You look like a Nollywood star. What are you doing? I'm on myself really, really bad. Um, and maybe all those things are true. Maybe they're not. Um, but my self-talk is like horrible. So I just do the videos and I don't watch them. I do the videos, I don't watch them. If there's something that needs to be corrected, I'll just make a mental note and I'll do it moving forward. Um, but just know behind the scenes, my self-talk is going to cause me to get better. It's going to cause me to have a better script. It's going to cause me to have better makeup. It's going to cause me to have better background because I'm my own like worst critic. But it's something I know I can't stop doing because at the end of it, like Black women are suffering and Black children are suffering. And um, whoever is supposed to hear it will hear it. Um, but at least I can say I did my part. I did my part. I didn't gatekeep. Because my destiny, I can't be at a food bank. It's not for me to be in one location, um, setting up, you know, dinners for the family or setting up, like boots on the ground. I wish that honestly, I would feel like I was doing more if I did that. But that's not the way my life is set up. My life is set up to where I travel a lot, I move around a lot. And so online is the best space for me. And so for me, I just have to keep humping the online to try to get in front of people, my people, to help them in a funny way, in a real way, even if it's just one thing, um, that they take away that changes their life. It's like, okay, do I still do divinations for sure? Do I still do mentorships for sure? Do I still do initiations? Damn right. Spiritual work, all of it. Um, Trips to Benin, repatriation, all of it. It's still just as potent as before, but now I just have to go out there and that's my way of affecting more and helping more. And so even right, but it's a challenge, because I have a manager, and the manager is like we record Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And so it's just like I'm got makeup on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, and I'm out and I gotta have these scripts and I have something to talk about. And it's just like, yeah, um, I don't feel like it, but it's like, this is what I asked for, you know, and I got it. And for me to say no is to like say no to helping people. And so I'll never say no, you know. Um, it's just like I begrudgingly sometimes get up, but I'll do it because I made the decision to do it, you know. Um, and as far as losing weight, I got to do it for the camera, but also for my health, you know, um, also for my health. And I promised my children I would be around for a really long time, and I do whatever it took to be around, whatever that looked like. And if that, I mean, there's not a potato out there I haven't had. There's not, uh, it's not, there's not a potato I haven't had. There's not a piece of fish, an egg, an avocado. There's not a sweet honey glazed nothing that I haven't had um, in my almost 50 years of living. And so I gotta be intentional about staying here because I've never been this age before and a lot of my elders are gone, but I didn't realize my body does these things when it gets almost 50. And so I'm learning for the first time and uh it's like, okay, we just gotta adjust. We gotta adjust. And so I locked in uh, last year. I locked in, but locking in the house, you'll gain weight. Food is not good. You're not moving like you should. Your metabolism's slowing down because you're older. You gotta work your bones. You gotta work your muscles. You gotta lift weights and not do cardio. It's like learning your body all over again. And then you couple that with the food is poisoned. You couple it with that, it's just like, well, I can't really trust nothing other than seasoned water right about now. So we just do we just don't do a reset. We're doing a reset. And so that's what I'm doing. And just living the life, just living the life. And right now, on a personal journey, I'm just kind of journaling the emotional ties and the emotional psychological change that goes through with losing weight. Because in every pound, there's emotion, there's memory, there's trauma. And so as I lose this weight, what trauma am I losing? What memories are coming up? What life lessons are am I having to be faced and be faced with? And so that's just me on a personal level. Uh, that those I don't think I've talked about that with anyone, but that's like in my personal journal what I'm going through. And each of you, as you become um, teachers and mentors to others, you also can't forget about your own personal journey. And so, for my personal journey right now, I'm going through the psychology of what happens when you lose weight, you know, and what healing in the physical and non physical need to happen. Because it's like I did, of course, all my divinations and I see all the readings that need to be done, not the readings, all the sacrifices that I had to do for myself for this year. And I'm just like, okay, you know, what does having to give all these offerings look like in the physical? Right? It's like, okay, we give these offerings to these deities, and they help us energetically in these ways. But what is that? What is that going to look like in my physical life? What does that translate to? So, um, I watch it in you guys' lives as I do spiritual work for you guys, and I sit back as you guys go through initiations. I sit back and watch, see how your lives evolve. But this year there was a specific way that the offerings needed to be done for me that I hadn't seen, and okay, that means I can only imagine the transformation that's going to happen for me in the next year because of the because it's like you see say just and I'm talking real high level because of course this goes on the internet, but it's like you can see say if you give an offering to, say, a certain deity, and this deity is over change and transformation. And I've seen the transformation that happens for people when, say, they're given a mid, just say a mid-level offering, not even like a high density offering, but just like a mid-level offering. And so let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, the same offering, now it came up for me to be done like 5 times, like 5 times with a high density offering. And I'm just like, the heck is my year gonna be like? You know, jeez. All right, I'm here for it. And I was just like, well, you better start journaling because you, what is this? There's a lot of transformation that's gonna happen. Obviously, because I've seen the whirlwind and the way people's lives have been when it's just one offering, mid-level. And so you do it 5 at a high level. I'm like, yo, okay, let's see what happens. I'm here for it. Um, but it's what is, and this is just to keep up with the energy um that's progressing. And so I'm like, okay, what trauma is going to be released? What healing is going to be done? What what does that transformation look like? So um that's me on a personal level. Um, so I'm being pushed right now. I'm in the middle of being pushed, and doesn't feel comfortable, but I'm doing it, and I'm not giving up because I've already started to see the benefit. You know, the thing that's different for me is like seeing that there's people not from the spiritual community um, that are starting to reach out to me. And so that is a little different because wellness, like we know how to talk to each other, we behave a certain way. There's a certain level of healing that, we've already gone through. Um, and so dealing with like the general public is taking some getting used to. And so, um, but it's still really new, you know, it's still really new. Um, but yeah, I hope I answered your question thoroughly.
You did, and I thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate your transparency. I just want to let you know that you are doing good. So I had absolutely no idea that you even thought that you look clumsy or sound crazy because I am not seeing or hearing any of that when I watch your videos. You don't seem clumsy to me at all. Uh, Everything you say makes sense. So I'm not sitting there like, what is Miyabi talking about? Um, so that must be a part of some human conditioning of us being hard on ourselves.
Thank you for that. Yeah, no, I'm just hard on myself. Um, but yeah, thank you for that. And if there's anything that you guys think I should be doing a video on that would like help someone, um, or, you know, let me know because I'm always looking for content. Like always looking for something to talk about. So, um, yeah. Who's next? Did anyone not go? Did anyone not go? I don't think I heard from Barrett, Angel. I don't
Uh,
know.
I go,
Go
I go,
ahead.
I go.
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you for your transparency. Um, I as you were talking, I was thinking back to those divinations that you had shared with us a year or two ago, and thinking about like the timeline, and that time flew fast. It flew so fast, and it was like we could see this thing coming, and we're trying to like navigate the world that don't see it coming, while still trying to juggle the mundane things like work and in traffic and everything else, like regular schmegular stuff, and then still trying to hold this like truth or understanding. And by the time things started to manifest in the physical, it was like, oh crap, this isn't like Jesus theory, like that moves you and makes you feel good, but really is just, like this is real. But if this is real, then this has to be real. And if this is real, then that has to be real. And trying to process that while trying to hold everything at the same time, while watching everyone else try to navigate their understanding of truth. That was just, um, yeah, that was it's been a time. Um, and so understanding that um, we are all on our, individual journeys as well as our collective journey, and both journeys have to be honored. And I think that's the thing about like what Christianity did. One of the many things that Christianity did to the way that we viewed society and our role models or our leaders is we have this image that like they're supposed to already be complete. They're supposed to already be finished, or this like ideal version of themselves. And it's like, no, like wherever you are, you start the work now. You do the work now. If you look at like Malcolm X and like his background, like I think he may have been a pimp, but he also had like substance abuse stuff going on, and he was in and out of incarceration, and I'm sure at that moment in his life he didn't see himself growing into the person that he became. And if he had waited to be that person, he may have never been able to impact the lives that he did with his story and with his journey, and transparency. And so I like really thank you for that, um, and sharing that, because it helps me, on my own, um, more than you know, or you may know, um, already. As far as what I've been like working on or doing, as far as target audience or target community, I'm not really sure who's my target, because I'm all over the place. And I see a need, and I just feel the need to fill it. And whether that's, I finished up my training recently for birth work. I've been like connecting with other people that are doing awesome work in the community. I've been sharing a survey. um, I should have had the link already to put it in there, but I've been sharing a survey to try to help identify what programs are already existing in our community. Because it's like, so what Lanisha was saying about like staying at home and pretty much being in a silo, I think that's like a common, um, especially for Black women, especially for Black women on their healing journey. You start learning about yourself, you start loving yourself, and you start like developing your space and your comfort zones. And it's like you don't have to compete with another man. You don't have to compete with you got to compete with my comfort zones. And this space that I like curated. And it's okay, because when you do go out in community, as much as we love community, it can be, that's a lot of energy. Like especially when you've been like in the house and resetting and tending to your own energy, and you go out with the world. It's good to be out and about, and it's good to connect, especially physically, because there's so much nuance that you miss when you're not in person. But energetically, it can feel overwhelming. So you have to have that place where you can go and reset and retreat and pour into yourself. That's definitely needed. But also, we are communal people, so we definitely need to have that balance. And I'm speaking to myself as much too. So because I work from home, and Mianu said, at least you're not Instacarting, and I just had to, you know, uh, because I'm an Instacart and I'm a tip well. That's how I give to community. I'm a tip you well. But I do that to conserve my energy, because I don't always, if I try to do all of the mundane things myself, and I work a corporate job and I got kids, it's just I gotta pull back somewhere, because it's always like this trade of, it's always a competition for like your energy, whether it's time, attention, money. And so I may Instacart, but Instacarting will guarantee that I'll cook those groceries instead of going to the grocery store hungry and then getting fast food on the way home. I have no excuse because there's groceries in the fridge. And so I'm actually, I'm missing out on that one-on-one connection in the store, but I'm finding it in other like more intentional ways, like trying to be in spaces where I'm going to see Black faces and connect with community. And so I think it's like being intentional about like how you're sharing your energy. And again, yes, I'm speaking to myself, but being intentional about how and where you share it. But the community survey form, when we talk about like, okay, we need to rejoin community, we need to get back re-engaged. And then you think, okay, but where are we sending people to, or what's there in community, especially right now with everything going on and the need, what is there in the communities to support those needs? So I've been sharing this form to try to identify what programs we have already available in our community so that we can support those programs, and try to get them off of like government funding if possible, because as we can see, like they can just, snap their fingers and pull that funding away. So how do we support the programs that we already have in place, whether it's, co-ops, whether it's a community garden, whether you're providing, hot plates, whatever it is that you're doing, how can we support that? And then like identify the gaps of what's still needed, and try to identify, people that are that have the desire, or at least the interest. Because if you're interested and you're saying that you see the need for something, you're probably meant to help um, fulfill that need. So trying to help identify the people that are willing to build in that way. Um, and then I've been like going using social media more, like not just commenting in the comments, but I've been like going live, especially when I hear um a lot of the conversations like on TikTok, for example. I don't know if it's just my algorithms, but it's just a lot of like diaspora war stuff going on, and it's on yours too. Okay. um it's a lot of crap, and if you have any sense of pattern recognition, it really saw an uptick after it was like everyone started sharing profile pictures of Ibrahim Traore, and then we turned around and it was all this like diaspora war stuff. And when we like recognize what's going on, like politically, spiritually, and how people are just starting to like see it or recognize it, they're having to also like reconcile with what they use to define themselves, like their identity, their beliefs. You're not just questioning the system, you're questioning your place in it now. You're questioning your, your your religion. You're decolonizing, and how that goes. And so when I'm hearing these conversations being had, like, not a lot of them are being, they're there's still decolonizing that needs to be done, like, with even within these conversations, because you'll have, for example, um, foundational Black Americans who believe they're indigenous to the Americas, and then you have the people that believe that they're of African descent. And if you know that the reason why some people believe that they're indigenous to here is because of what they've been taught through internalized white supremacy, then you have to hold space for that. If you're trying to bridge a gap, you're not going to bridge it by calling them dumb or ridiculing them for how they feel, because we've had generations of family members who told us we got Cherokee in our family, or we got Indian in our family, or that loose curl that came from, you know, whatever, because we, whether some of it was valid or some of it was because we wanted to hide, some of the traumas that occurred, that where that loose curl was acquired. Um, but we're not going to bridge anything if we're not leading with empathy. We're not, like, holding space for the process. Like, there's stages of denial, there's stages of grief that need to be honored, and in those stages people are going to lash out, they're going to be angry, they're going to speak from a very emotional place. And if we know better, then we have to conduct ourselves as such, or we're only, like, adding to the harm that people say FBAs are doing. Like, you can't say one is better than the other if you're both leading with harm. If you're attacking your brother because of, what they don't understand, or because of their, lost connection, you're still perpetuating the same violence. You're just using yourself and the knowledge you have about yourself to feel more highly about yourself, and we're all in the same situation. If you look like me, and you have the same hair texture, you have the same nose, you have the same smile, and you don't see yourself reflected in me, it's because you have a hard time recognizing yourself. And that has to be, like, honored, like, with care and special regard. If my child was at school and was sent there to learn something, and the teacher called him dumb or slow because of what they didn't understand, I would mop that teacher with the, like, I'd be mopping the floor with that teacher. So, I've been kind of lending myself to conversations to try to restore things back to a more, productive place. Um, and try to, like, steer these conversations back, because what I'm noticing in these conversations, they may have decolonized their politics, they may have decolonized their worldview, but they still haven't decolonized their religion or their spiritual practices, and they don't recognize how it's influencing the conversation. And then so I'll feel myself like, ugh, like, I gotta say something. I really don't want to, but let me, like, ugh, all right, fine, I'll unmute. Yeah. And then it ends up, you know, um it ends up moving the conversation really productively. And so um those are some things that I've been doing. Um and also um recognizing that, like, while we feel called to, like, move in a certain way, we feel called to um, act on what we're finding ourselves passionate about. We can't necessarily wait for permission to be who we know ourselves to be, or we can't wait for a certain family member's blessing to move forward with what we know we have to do, because they can't give us what they can't give themselves, you know? And so if that was something that spirit led you to, like, it was for a reason, and you need to honor that and keep going. And if you um get distracted, it's okay, like, get back up and then keep going. um and with that, I have reconnected with my book. Alafia, Alafia, Alafia. Where's the mute button? Hold on. That was supposed to
That's
be a
not
dramatic
fair.
mute.
That's not
That
fair.
was
You
supposed
do
to be a
all of
dramatic.
that. And then your last 5 words, I started back with my book. Yay. Okay. So your demographic is about healing between the African American and the African. And that's your demographic. And so that's what I hear. Um, and so those are the spaces that you're working in the trenches around. Um, and the book, I'm glad that you're working on the book. Your work on the book is like me doing these videos. You got to push and force yourself. You know you need to be doing it. It's the answer. And you just got to birth that baby already, you know? Um, and so it's good. What chapter are you on? Hmm. Okay. So you guys know that's the question to ask her, right? Because even though she's not telling us, there's a number that popped in her mind. And so the next time we ask her, whatever number that was that popped in your mind, it should be higher. It should pop in your mind again and be higher. Instead of the beginning of the chapter, it's towards the end of that chapter now. It's whatever it is that you have in your mind. We ask you again. You got how many of us is on here? There's 8 of us on this call. You have 7 people. They're gonna be like, how's the book going? What chapter are you on? Yeah. Wow, man. That's it's gonna help you. They're gonna be doing the same thing to me. Yana, we ain't seen a new video in a while. Ugh, where's she at? But this is the accountability that we have for each other. We doing the same thing for Miss where's she at? Miss Mackenzie. Angel, I want to hear from you. Where are you?
I go, I go, I go. Um, so for me, it's, let's see, who am I helping? Um, Still with my herbs. I really like messing with my herbs and healing that way and giving things to people. Um, just random people that I meet sometimes, people at work, sometimes they're coworkers, sometimes, it was a random lady at the grocery store. She hurt herself. And and I never usually bring my little ointment that I rub on the kids' arm when they get a little bump or bruise or whatever. But I just happen to have it in my little bag. And I said, oh, she was just kind of like, oh my God, I hurt myself. And I was talking about her finger. I just looked over and my granddaughter's like, oh, grandma, you should give her this ointment stuff. And I looked and I was like, I didn't really say anything. And she was like, oh, do you have something that can help? I said, well, I mean, sure. And I just put it on her or whatever. But it was just random stuff like that. Like, I guess it's still with my herbs. Pain, it seems to be pain when people are hurting. I did this little mixture and I gave it to a coworker, and he's like, "Oh my God, I normally have to take 2 ibuprofen after work, and I didn't take any." He said I didn't have to wear my knee brace for 2 days. Like, this is amazing. And I had no clue he knew the health food store I always go to, my little spot, whatever. He know the owner. They're like apparently good friends. He's like, "Hey, Rick was to talk to you." And I'm like, "Rick?" He's like, "Yeah, Ricky, the owner of such and such." I said, "Oh, you know Ricky?" Like, he said, "Yeah, we went to school together." I told him about the stuff, and he said, "I set up an appointment for you to talk to him so you can market it." I was like, "No." I'm like, "I'm not ready. That, I don't have no labels." He said, "No, he know all them people." I said, I was literally speechless. I had no words. I was like, "Is this happening right now?" Like, I'm like, wow. So I don't know that happened. That was something. Um, but yeah, just it's more physical, healings. Just working with my herbs and the kids. So I guess I don't know what exactly demographic that makes it. There's all kinds of people. uh, 'Cause a lot of people are in pain, but um, yeah, that's yeah, that was it. That's pretty much it. I
I
laughed
think
at
you narrowed it down. You narrowed it down to people in pain, and you have a product. And so now it's about getting your product out, and your product will be the voice for you. And so, you know, you, you should definitely put your product in the store. Um, Definitely make it available online. All you need is one. All you need is one product. That's it. And you have something that people uh, want. They say it works for them. I know it's healthier than that pink potion that they had on TikTok a while back. Y'all remember that? It was like something went viral. It's this pink, it looked like Pepto Bismol. People were drinking it. They were eating it by the bottles. The woman went viral. It was just, it ended up making people sick, right? But in the beginning, she just, and I'm not saying your stuff is going to make people sick. What I'm saying is there's a market. People will buy your product even based on the couple of recommendations you have. You don't have to be um, uh, like whatever, like if you're having self-talk, right? That's saying, I'm not professional enough. I don't have like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have this degree, that degree. I don't have this presentation. The same self-talk I was telling you that if you're having that self-talk about the product, that's what I'm saying about the pink potion. Send it out there. Put all the ingredients on there, right? This is what's in it. If y'all want it, this is what it does. This is what people say it do for them. Y'all give me a little bit of change for it. Because and people don't people value what heals them. So if that really helped him and now he's wanting to get that to others, you not putting it in the store could, like, that's part of him helping to heal because he's trying to get something good to others because it helped him and now he wants to get it out to others. So you not doing that can like stifle his progress as well, so it's like you have to be selfless and see where it goes. Follow the path and just see where it goes. Just follow the path and see where it goes. And you're being honest. right? You're just following the breadcrumbs. That's just follow the breadcrumbs. They may buy it with no, with no label, out of the baggie, out of the tube, and you just work and you get better, right? And that's the thing. Your self talk, that will be what helps you get better, what helps you refine and have a better product. Yeah, I'm proud of you. So you're doing it. Don't think you're not. You're doing it with the grandbabies, with the family, right? That's your test kitchen. And you can say, it's grandbaby approved. I'm not giving y'all nothing I wouldn't give my grandchildren. And it's the truth, and I love them grandbabies, you know. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Barrett, you have a question? You had your hand up. You're muted, Barrett.
My bad. Um, it wasn't a question. It wasn't a question. It was more just like a funny story, but like meant to be encouraging. So, um, a lot of the a lot of the time when I don't do what I know I need to do, it's because of fear. Like fear of like being seen and fear of like being exposed and things like that. And so, um, on TikTok, I don't know if you guys have seen Mariah Carey's new commercial. So she put out a commercial with Sephora, um, and it's pretty much playing in our faces the whole time. So the commercial starts off with her looking under the Christmas tree, and she sees that all the presents are missing. So she turns to the elf and was like, "Elf, who's the thief?" Like kind of playing towards that whole like everyone saying they're gonna start stealing from the stores because the food stamps are being cut off. So it's like it starts off right at the bat playing in our faces. And then the elf turns around and it's like, oh, we're boycotting. We're boycotting Christmas this year and we're saving our money for therapy, right? So you're watching the commercial and you're just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then it ends with her saying, you can't cancel Christmas. Mind you, we're canceling Christmas. Christmas is done. We're done for. We're Christmas is gone. What Christmas? Sorry. Um, but it made me mad because I'm like, they're really playing in our faces. They use the Queen of Christmas to come tell us we can't cancel Christmas while she's singing the song about she doesn't want much for Christmas. How does that make sense? And so I challenged myself and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stitch this. I don't like making videos, I don't like being seen. And I was like, but I was really like mad. And so I was like, I'm going to stitch Mariah Carey. And Sephora. Talk about you don't want to be seen, you don't want to be exposed. And now, like, I'm challenging and now I'm going to the whole opposite extreme and I'm stitching Mariah freaking Carey over Christmas. Like, but you're muted. I didn't catch what you said, Yanu. Um, but I
I
did
was
it.
saying that's the only time she's big is during Christmas. That's like her iconic time. So
Yeah.
in her iconic time, that's when you want to stitch her. So it's like you will get the opposite effect.
Yeah.
You will draw attention to yourself for
Which
sure.
is which is what I don't like.
Send me the
But
stitch.
okay. Um, but it's like it didn't go viral or anything, but it was just the fact of like I didn't want to do it because I'm operating in fear. And so now I'm gonna challenge myself to do it. And I did it. And I did it with Mariah freaking Carey. over Christmas. So say that to say, like, if you stay in that space of fear, like, and you stay in that space of like compliance beforehand, you don't get to change anything from doing that. Um, and so you have to challenge yourself. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to share that. Love you, love you, love you.
Good, 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 good. Okay. So this class, it's a good regroup. It was a good way to see how we're touching community, because this time is not just about our gifts, it's about how are we helping, what community are we helping, what demographic are we supporting. It's us being the, yes, the student of life, the student of nature, but also how are we being the teachers? How are we facilitating? How are we being the healers? Not just to ourselves. So that's what this class was about. Agbasi, Mama Shron, did you guys want to say or add anything about what you're working on?
I go. So my healing has really come through being with you guys. Really, in all the work that I do with Nazia Fa, um, with doing the sister circles, with doing the workshop sessions. It's really, you guys are my demographic, so Black women on their spiritual journey. I really want to do more. I think it is somewhat of a, I don't want to say easy because it's not easy, but it's easier to go and flow with where I am, which is doing a lot of the work for Nadia Fa, but I want to bring more of my personality into it, be more, expressive of what I bring as a dynamic to the group. And so I'm always looking for ways to express myself. And I know we talked about it in some of the other sessions of me wanting to go deeper into my gifts, go deeper into really doing dreams and nation and helping people in that aspect, and also like having forgot about ancestral veneration, inspiring people to do that even more, especially in this time. So I I'm working on it. I have like all these ideas, but yeah, like the way that I'm actively helping others in this time is really being very active within Nazia Fa. And I hope to, again, like I said, bring more of my personality into it so that I help others, especially, people who have an issue, maybe being disconnected from their ancestors or having a lot of spiritual problems. I haven't getting a lot of messages within their dreams. I want to help people again, work through that. And so how I do that is still being discovered even more as I walk through this journey. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is, and it's a big thing for me. I really take a lot of respect and honor in the things that I do with Nasia Fa. So that's my outreach, and just hope to explore it and explode it even more. I love you.
In addition to that, there's things that she has going on that she's not speaking about yet because just like when you're pregnant and you're not past the 3 month mark, you don't talk about it yet. But once you get past that 3 month mark and that baby is latched to that uterus wall and it ain't going nowhere, then and it starts to show. There's a couple things that she has that she's doing that I'm very proud of her for doing. And it's all her energy. And it's nothing I personally am drawn to, but I support it. And it's just completely her. And so but it's not ready to share. Still very infant. Um, and so be on the lookout in the next year or so. Um, she'll be unleashing things. And how long was in this? This been in the works for a while. Okay, this is the thing that Mianu was talking about that you was working on back when like, yeah, and it's like, how do you do it all? That's what you guys will say. How do you do it all? Because she does a lot, and so I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna hint. I'm not. Um, I'm not gonna say nothing. But just watch out. Um, you know, big sister's gonna flex her muscles in a couple months and let y'all know what she got going on. So that's good. Like Mama Strong, you didn't want to say nothing about the demographic, did you? Well, I'm gonna talk. Mama Strong is being a mama. Okay. She is the mama of Sankofa, and she is growing these kids and they is working her last nerves. And she, and she is being a great teacher to the Sankofa children. Um, and I'm just giving you your little flowers because I can already tell that you didn't hit your limit for today. But let me just tell you, um, she's putting together curriculums for them. In addition, which will be online, um, she's starting to host mystery school classes for the children to educate and get the children ready to interact with the unseen world. Um, in addition to reinforcing the day to day house principles that they need to have in order to be a child who can interact with the invisible. These kids come with gifts, these kids come activated. And if we don't gear them, then they will be on YouTube trying to figure out how to do it themselves, right? And so she is doing an amazing work. She's in the trenches, mm, shaping the minds of the next generation. And I know you don't always see it that way, Mama Strong, but that's exactly what you're doing. And it's beautiful. And I'm excited and I'm happy. And you're on path. And that is your demographic. Your demographic, mama, is the babies. Oh. Okay. I think that's all I have for right now. The things that I had to teach about, we can go over that next time. Um, so we'll pick up with I should be on the call next week. Whenever I'm on the call next, it should be next week. We'll pick up with new material. Anytime I'm not on a call, just know we're gonna start to go over and talk about things that subjects from social media. So anything that I'm talking about on social media to go deeper, to you can invite people to Patreon. You can invite people to sister circles. You can um, share, do all those things. That's definite. You guys should. I would like your support if you haven't subscribed to YouTube. We're trying to get YouTube up and going. Subscribe to YouTube. We need to get TikTok going. That'll be coming, but subscribe to Instagram, and I will follow you guys as well. So if I'm not on the social, that if I'm not following you on the social where you're trying to grow your audience, just send it to me, um, and I'll do it for you guys. And I'm asking for your support as well. Share. If y'all ain't embarrassed of me, share. Forward it. If you forward it. And you just gotta, and I'll share. I don't mind. Um, you guys see, I'll share my story. I'll share on the post. I'm really interested about the stitch that you did, Barrett. Just because there's so many people, like you gotta think there's millions of people out there. I think there's is it 4 point or 7 something million um black folks in the US alone? Come on. Our little ecosystem that we have, we need to like pump all of our stuff out. Everybody need to be sharing everybody's stuff. So if you're creating content, if you come across good content, send it to me. I'm always posting other people's content. I'm starting to post my own content um, because we got to get those. We got to touch the millions. There's someone in South Dakota right now that needs to hear from us. There's someone in Minnesota. There's Black women in Iowa that need to know what to do. Angel Salve is going to help someone in Nebraska. We got to start thinking like we got to get out, 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 you know? So that just means we got to share. We got to share, 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 share. It's 50 states, y'all. You guys are under me. I got 50 states means y'all got 50 states. It's not just your neighborhood. It's not just your city. You got 50 states. That podcast, woo, bump it. All right, that's all I got. The floor is open. If you guys have any last words you want to say.
Just want to say thank you. We missed you on the call. Glad you're doing well. Shout out to our big sisters for holding it down, and good to see everybody.
Okay. Also, in the spring, I want to have another retreat. This one's going to be in Benin. So get ready. I'm telling y'all now. I'm telling you now. So we did one in the States. We did one at the temple. That's going to be great. We're going to do another one at the other temple. Get ready. So think about that. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave that here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let y'all talk about it. But start thinking about when in the spring that will work for you, how many days you would be able to attend, all of those things. And the Queen Mother will be there for a portion of it. Yeah, no, we going in the forest. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. Yes. Um, okay. So I'm gonna leave you guys to talk. Um, next class. So that's your homework. Talk about come up with time frame, days, months, not necessarily the curriculum or anything like that, or the location. You guys know where the location would be. Of when, more like the when and the duration for your retreat. Okay, for 2026. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Be well.
Okay, ladies, is there anything you want to talk about? No? How long are y'all thinking if you come to a retreat in Benin, how long do you think you would be able to stay? 1 week, 2 weeks? What does that look like?
I go. I was getting ready to say anything less than a week ain't gonna do nothing but make us mad, I think, because you already have to factor in travel time of flying there and then flying back. And so yeah, if it's less than a week, the real best trying to be there for like 2 days and then spend the rest of our time traveling. Um, so I'm thinking at least a week. I don't know how many days past one, but that's all I got so far. A lot.
I go. I was thinking the same thing, Lanisha. I mean, my minimum was thinking at least 10 days. Like, I just feel like anything less than 10 days, I mean, like you said, it's just a waste of time. There's so many things to do. So, 2 weeks would be nice, but I know that can be hard for people. But a minimum of 10 days, maybe. I feel.
I go. I'm gonna be real. If I can go, the money looking right. I probably could just get off a week. I don't know. I would try to get off a little bit longer, but um, if it aligns that way, then I 10 days, I feel like that is pretty, that's manageable, but any longer than that, may have to quit it. I ain't ready for that yet. So, but yeah, but definitely just gotta look and see what the money talking about.
I feel like 10 days is a sweet spot. Um, yeah, maybe we can, if everybody's okay with that, we can maybe suggest that and then see like what time in the spring could we stretch it around holidays or spring break. I don't know. I think spring break the flights might be expensive, but just see how we can stretch the time. And I would just say with flights, I know it can be expensive, but you can utilize things like Affirm or Klarna to where you don't have to pay so much up front and you have more spending money when you get there. So I would just say look into all of those things just to make it easier on you to where you can say yes. But I think 10 days is a sweet spot. We can check on that. And then we have to get back together and figure out the time. When's the 10 days to pick? Cool, cool. Well, I mean, I don't really have anything, anything else. Anybody have anything?
Um, yeah, that like you were saying, also Cash App does little loans. Those are helpful. I don't know if anybody's utilized that. Um, oh girl, let me tell you. So let me tell you. So so if you have Cash App, go on Cash App. Put money into it. So and hold like $25. Use it for whatever, something frivolous, and put another $25 in the next time you get paid. So like every Friday, you're kind of putting in a minimum of $25. In 2 weeks or a month, it'll say, "Oh, we you've been approved to borrow," and they usually start you at like $100 or $200. And then you borrow that. So you borrow $25, and I always just keep it very small. But you can borrow this $25, pay it back. The interest rate, the very minimum, I think it's a flat rate of like $5 that you pay back, and it'll keep going up to like $1,000, and I'm like, hey, it worked out, like that little money, and it comes out. You set your payments to when you get paid. So they spread it over a couple of weeks. And when you get paid, if you get paid weekly, you can set it weekly. If it's bi-weekly, you can do that too. You just stretch it out your payment longer. But you know what I mean? It just establishes that credit with them. And, you know, it comes in nifty because everybody says Cash App. And sometimes you just need that little, like, oh, let me just borrow this real quick. And, you can maneuver. So an option. You got a little bit of time to kind of build it up and use it, and but definitely helpful with the economy lately. Like that's how I've been getting groceries done for real. Like so, yeah. Okay, I love you, love you, love.
Thank you, Angel. I had no idea Cash App had that option. So that's something to look into, especially, yeah, emergencies happen. You need it sometimes. So, okay, cool. Okay, well, there you go. That's another option. All right, ladies. Well, if there's nothing else, I will say goodbye. See you later. Hit you on the app. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I love you.